With Iowa's 3rd Congressional District, a race that was called by the Associated Press about 13 minutes after the polls closed at 8 o'clock. Lanon Baccam, in a landslide, will be your Democratic representative on the ticket for the 3rd Congressional District, facing Zach Nunn, who's going for a 2nd term in Congress. Nunn running unopposed tonight there in that 3rd District. Iowa's News Now State House reporter Skylar Tlaw live in Des Moines tonight, starting our live team coverage after following that race here in District 3. And Skylar, again, 13 minutes after the polls closed, Lanon Baccam named your Democratic nominee.
Yeah, Mitch, Lanon Baccam is officially the Democratic nominee for Iowa's 3rd congressional race. He will now challenge Republican incumbent Zach Nunn in November, who only won his seat by a narrow majority back in 2022. But here at the new Northwestern in Des Moines, supporters of Lanon are excited, as you can imagine. Lots of hugs, cheers, and now some mingling and talking, but there were definitely cheers when he was announced the winner. And like you said, it was pretty quick. But this is a pretty huge race for the Democrats. They're throwing a lot of support and money from national Democrats here. And in his victory address, you can hear Lanon even talking about some of the different policy choices and such that him and Zach Nunn have.
Zach Nunn and extreme politicians like him have no problem forcing their way into your doctor's office to tell you if, when, and how to start a family. That's wrong. And that's why it's so important to beat Zach Nunn this fall and send me to Congress.
And just a couple minutes after we heard Lanon was the winner, I was already starting to receive emails from the Zach Nunn campaign, talking about the difference in policies between him and Lanon. And coming up in just a little bit, we'll hear from Lanon himself, talking about that victory. Live in Des Moines, Skylar Tlaw, Iowa's News Now.
I want to go back to Des Moines. Iowa's News Now State House reporter Skylar Tlaw live there tonight with the new Democratic nominee for House District 3, Lanon Baccam, celebrating his victory tonight.
Yeah, Mitch, I'm here with Lanon Baccam, who's now officially the Democratic nominee for Iowa's 3rd congressional race. Can you just tell me a little bit about that initial reaction when you had found out that you had won?
Oh my God, what an incredible thing. Truly, our team has put in the hard work. Our volunteers are incredible. And the reality is we've been traveling the 3rd District, crisscrossing this from county to county for months now, listening to Iowans and listening to voters and hearing what they have in mind for what they want for a representative. They know I'm ready right now to represent Iowa's 3rd District, given my background in the military, given my background working at USDA, and I'm ready to go.
And what's kind of that next step for you? Do you have a strategy in place on how you beat Zach Nunn?
We absolutely do, and I think a lot of Iowans agree with where we are in terms of positions. The fact that Zach Nunn raised his hand in a debate last cycle saying no abortions, no exceptions, he has an extreme position when it comes to this. I will do what I can to fight for restoring the rights found under Roe versus Wade. That's where Iowans are on this issue, and I'll do that when I go to Congress.
And what will be that first issue if you are elected? What do you hope to work on for that first piece of legislation?
I think Congress can work on a lot of things at the same time, but the reality is we need to codify the Roe versus Wade in Congress when we get a chance to do that. I will fight to do that. We also need to make sure we pass a farm bill. The reality is farming and ranching is an incredibly risky business, and so we need to have certainty for our farmers and ranchers. We also need to make sure we have really strong nutrition programs for our country as well.
For sure. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.